The Today in AZ After Show cast is flabbergasted right now because Rachel McNeil just admitted something that I never thought she'd say.
Yeah.
Shocked.
I made cookies for the office cookie party.
Cookies.
But really, who made
Then
them?
I was like, wait a second, my son technically made them.
Okay, here it comes.
Under my direction.
Okay.
Hey, I don't blame you. I am not a baker, cook,
I'm not a good
chef,
baker.
nothing.
Did he wash his
Baking is
hands
not
at
my
least?
thing. Yes,
Okay,
he did
good.
wash it.
He's gonna make sure before he
Nobody
eats
has
the
a
cookies.
cold. Yes.
Wait, what kind of cookies did you guys make?
We just went classic chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip. Okay.
The OGs.
What'd you guys bring?
I picked up some chocolate chip and oatmeal. I did not bake
From where?
them. From Sprouts. Have you ever had them from there?
No,
They are
but I'm
soft and
excited.
delicious and amazing.
Soft is key.
Yeah, she said this to me yesterday, so I also went to Sprouts.
What?
I got a different flavor.
What'd you
Okay.
get?
I got salted caramel chocolate.
Ooh. Do you know they have vegan oatmeal cookies over there? I didn't pick
All of
those
it looks
up.
so good.
But,
If I'm not vegan, why would I eat vegan cookies?
well, I'm just saying for those that are
Yeah.
vegan and want to
Well,
pick
I know, I was
There's
thinking-
options.
I was thinking about putting a label because the party is not till like we're all gone. So
No, hold on. You are the only one that's gone at that time. Us three are still here.
you're usually gone.
No, she's here at
Fridays?
9:30. You're
Oh,
the
sorry.
only one that gets to leave that early.
I'm gone. So I was going to leave a label and say gluten-full cookies.
I like
And I
it.
was like, are people going to be annoyed? Is that kind of rude? And so I decided not to go.
No,
Like,
people-
they don't know me well enough here.
No, they'll be
to do it
happy
yet.
to know that
Yeah.
they don't touch those cookies. that have
Right,
gluten.
because they're gonna need a heads up for sure.
They're full of gluten.
Is Jen Wall here today? I don't remember. Was she reporting?
I don't think she's
Because she can't have
Yeah.
gluten. She'll be happy.
I would have just read it as gluten-free. Gluten-full is not a phrase I've ever seen before, so I would have just
Let's
assumed it was
hashtag gluten-full.
Yeah.
All right, dudes, let's get down
What
to
are we
brass
talking about
here.
today?
Right, so something relatively serious. You may have seen this on Today in AZ this morning. So this story kind of came out a couple days ago, but it's sort of been making its way into the American news cycle over the last few days. It originated on a German news site, which is why you may not have heard about it yet. But you do know about the popular app TikTok. So they've admitted to suppressing posts by users that the company identified as disabled, overweight, people with deformities, even members of the LGBTQ community. So TikTok said it did this over concerns of cyberbullying. They didn't want these people to be picked on in case their videos went viral. How backwards does that sound? So here's how it worked. A video was uploaded. It then went to a moderator who would judge whether the user of that video was, quote, vulnerable.
Jeez, aren't we all?
Oh, right. I mean, like, who's to say that somebody with a disability or who looks a little different than you isn't any more prone to cyberbullying than we are? I mean, we get bullied all the time.
Oh my God, all the time.
Anyway, if they were assumed to be a member of the LGBTQ community, or they had an assumed disability, or they were overweight, or they had a weird facial tic, or they were on the autism spectrum, there were any number of things that people were getting flagged for. The video was flagged in the review process. And then the video had its reach limited. And a lot of times the moderator would have like 30 seconds to determine if what they were watching was posted by somebody who was slightly different than this imperfect standard of beauty that they're operating under. So TikTok said this was not a long-term solution. They did it when the app launched as a way to curtail cyberbullying. And they say they have since revised their policy in favor of more nuanced anti-bullying and in-app protection policies. But somebody said that this thing was still operational under this policy as recently as September, so just a few months ago.
So I think the part that bothered me was a lot of the ways that they identified them were from the users who self-identified as LGBTQ. I read one piece on a woman who her hashtag is fat woman. She's got like millions of viewers, but that's her. She's proud and she airs these videos. So it's like some of these people were using these hashtags because they're proud of who they are. The woman that
As they should be.
has a prosthetic leg.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
And she, was very proud of what she was able to dance, do all these different things. So anyways, so because of that hashtag that they used, they were also flagged as, oh, we're going to protect you from being bullied. But they're trying to raise awareness by showing that they're proud of who they are and the way they live their lives. So that's the part that is an imperfect system that they put in place, So we've been asking, what do you think? Should these apps be censoring people because they're trying to protect you from being bullied?
A lot of TikTok users said this is protection they did not ask for.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't blame them. I mean, like, nobody that has a disability, and I don't mean to speak for anyone, but my understanding is as such that if you have a disability, you do not want to be defined by that disability in some negative context or be treated like you're somehow lesser.
Differently, yeah.
Especially when in a lot of these cases, it's not even disabilities we're talking about. It's just people who might look a little different or people who might have different interests than what this Chinese company is perceiving as like the model for what they want their front page of their app to look like. So what happened with a lot of these videos is like they weren't deleted, but their audience was stifled so much that they more or less were just for the users and their close friends themselves. So like for some of the users, they would region lock the videos, which meant that you either couldn't view them outside of that person's own state or own country. And for some of them, they kept them from getting on the For You page. So I don't use TikTok, but I did research this a little bit. My understanding is this is like the front page of the website where the viral videos go, where the things that everyone's clicking on and enjoying, and you find new content, and it's a list that's constantly curated and changing. If your video doesn't make it on there, you're never going to be TikTok famous. You're never going to go viral for anything you do. So because of a person liking someone of the same sex or having a cleft palate or having a disability or being different, those people suddenly can't become viral for producing good content because they're being protected by TikTok? How absurd does that sound?
Concept. Do they put a disclaimer out with that this is what they're doing?
No, no. This was
figured it out.
Yeah, no, this was revealed.
Site.
After it already happened, it was revealed.
Newspolitik or whatever.
Yeah, Newspolitik. I believe it was initially a German site. So part of the reason that this story has taken a few days to get into the American media cycle is because it had to be translated. So if you go and find the original article, you'll see that it does have some imperfections in the translation from German to English. But the crux of the content is still there. Do we have any viewer comments, by the way? Mine aren't loading.
Yeah, mine's not loading.
We might have some Facebook problems. I apologize profusely to all of you who are watching the show and theoretically commenting and sharing your thoughts because we can't read your comments right now. So we're just going to have to operate.
I'm going to try a test comment.
Yeah, type the word test and see what happens. It did not show up on mine. No.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I did.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
All right, back alive.
Okay, well, we got crystals.
But I'm sure there's somebody saying good morning, hello.
Yeah, you guys are always very
Friday.
friendly. This is the first time I've ever seen the chat completely empty, so I assume something is up
You're
on
watching.
So I
Please
feel
say
like,
hello.
TikTok is kind of under fire in general right now. I feel like every other day we're doing a story on problems with TikTok, and as a parent of a child who seems to be into it, I can't wait for this site to go away, frankly. It's ridiculous. It's a lot of nonsense, and it is opening the doors for a lot of issues. And this whole latest story is just one in a series that we've done with problems with this app.
Okay, so real quick, how old are your boys?
So 11 and 8.
So this app, as I understand it, is for like 15 and under. Like if you're 16 years old and using TikTok.
A lot of the users who are posting are 20,
slightly,
30s,
right. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
But I guess the audience
right.
that they're gearing is kind of a tween.
Their demo
teen.
is the tween.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What scares you in particular about this app? Because I don't have kids, but I could name a couple things that terrify me about it.
So right now I was talking to my son yesterday in the car on the way home because we did that story about there was a girl, I can't remember what state, but I think she was 11 or 12.
Oh, that she...
Who took off with a guy that she met through TikTok because same as many other sites, yes, they can message your kids through this app.
And so she disappeared for a little while,
right? She was
over
returned
24
safely.
hours.
So they can. So I was saying, who can see? First, when he started on there, I'm like, who can see your content? Because he initially went on there and was trying to get his friends from school to follow him and all that, but it's public. So I'm like, you're inviting just really anyone, but you're hoping it's just your friends, but it could be anyone. And so we have to have the whole conversation about not engaging in conversations, period, with anybody you don't know.
So my girlfriend, her son just started college, so he's what, 19, 18, 19. And she said the biggest problem with TikTok is that it's a distraction in class. So he is filming videos while he's in class with his other classmates. Like they did one where like a little dance video, he's up there first in the class and then his friends come up behind him. And so he finally got in trouble because he's doing this during,
Fortunately, they take away the phones. They're in junior high though, so that's different. College is a different situation. But yeah, it is a distraction. They sit there and it's the black hole of watching these silly little videos because they're only like, 10, 15 seconds.
Well, there was
short.
Vine, right? You remember Vine? Those were very short videos. And then once that platform was bought and then went under, this sort of filled that space. But the thing that bothers me about TikTok there was a report 2 days ago that just came out that said that it's loaded with Chinese spyware. So this is made by a company in China. It's operated by a company in Beijing. We mentioned the name on the show this morning, but it escapes me now. Dance Byte or something like that is the name of it. The company itself is owned by one of the richest men in China. And they've sort of been forefront. They've been forward about like the spyware that's in TikTok. And so like downloading it is kind of at your own risk. And then to see that the way that they've handled this, like, and I don't say this lightly, this reeks of Nazi Germany to me. Like, it really does. It is, we have curated what we think is the perfect human, and anyone who is in some way deemed lesser does not have the access and resources as everyone else.
It is.
That is absurd
bizarre.
to me.
Yeah,
and that is a very slippery slope. And if we as Americans embrace that as okay, that's a problem.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're totally right. I mean, the people that they were censoring, which is really what it is, it was censorship. They claim they're not doing it anymore. I don't think that's true. I mean, they're still whittling down these videos.
Yeah. Like, it's impossible for us to look at their algorithm and their programming and be able to say definitively that they're not doing this anymore.
But the list of things, it was like unbelievable. Who doesn't fall in the list of potential
A slight squint
censors?
was one of the things that was on there. If
Exactly.
someone had a slight squint, they were being censored.
It's bizarre. So it's like, at what point are you getting to, someone's religion, their creed, their gender? It just was getting down a very slippery slope that it's offensive. I think overall, if you're not offended by it, it's,
So let me ask you guys then, do you buy the excuse that this was done under the guise of preventing cyberbullying, or was this done for more nefarious reasons, like curating an app to make it look like it was perfect? Like, there's a Stepford Wives feel to this too, right? Where like this new social media app that's gaining, they're close to a billion users now.
Like
it's getting up there. Yeah, it's the
in the
fastest
shortest
growing
amount of
social
time.
media
Yeah.
app ever, faster than Facebook
Crazy.
and Twitter and Instagram and all of them. My fear is that this excuse rings hollow to me. One, if it is their excuse, man, was that a stupid way to go about preventing cyberbullying. But if it is not the excuse, then the reality is scarier to me, and that's that they wanted to put this front up. Hajidong is the name of a propaganda village in North Korea, where you may have heard of this, maybe if you watched our Olympic coverage last year. It's a fake city, and it's a facade that makes it look like an affluent place across the border from South Korea into North Korea, but the buildings are vacant, and they're just painted over, and it's supposed to look a certain way to make South Koreans want to defect to North Korea. That's what this seems like to me. They want this app to look like it's this beautiful, perfect utopia, but really the people running it have ulterior motives.
Ugh, yeah.
Well, we're schooling a lot of people on Facebook today because Priscilla said I'm not hip to TikTok.
No, I mean, like, I don't know how old you are, Priscilla, but I feel like your kids are too little, she says, and I'm too old. So
She did say she tried to download it, though, but once you read the terms and everything, never mind.
Well, good for you, though.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because how often do you get to the TOS page and you're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you don't even read it. You just go.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Now, my kids are obsessed with it, but we're right in that, early tween age, and so all his friends do it at school, and then so they're sharing their videos and doing all that kind of stuff. And you do worry about the because I know some people have also had problems of identifying factors like where you live. You're giving up a lot when you sign up for this app.
Yeah, that's scary.
We are at the tipping point of trying to determine how to limit cyberbullying, right? So, like, we don't have the answers yet, as evidenced by this story and as evidenced by how Twitter handles it so poorly, how Facebook handles it so poorly. I don't think we have an answer yet as to like how to prevent online forums and these huge social spaces from becoming really toxic.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I have a suggestion. We sort of solicited it, put it on your plate in the post at the top of the page saying, how do we prevent bullying? How do we better prevent cyberbullying?
I don't know, but don't you find like in our own Twitter feeds, like there are definitely some red flags when we know people are just, number one, I always click on whatever the handle. Number two, you look, there's no picture, or it's a picture of like a celebrity or something, obviously not a real picture. And then you look at their number of followers, and then you look at how many times they tweet. And you're like, oh my gosh, this person literally spends all day just tweeting things
Trolling
at
people.
Yes, yeah. I've seen a few people like that on my Twitter.
People that are more whatever out there in the public eye, if you want to say. So I feel like, okay, if I'm able to do that pretty easily, surely there's an algorithm for that can kind of weed out some of these jokers.
So let me ask you this then. Let me pose a hypothetical. We talked about on the show yesterday about how facial recognition software is making its way into airports. And sooner rather than later, we're going to have to stare into a camera, have them take our picture before we get on a plane.
I thought they were already doing that.
Well, in some
with
places,
cameras, to be honest.
What if you're not wearing makeup?
Yeah.
Well,
there
that's
are
why
a lot of
remember
cameras
when
at
we did,
airports.
we had to do your passport
No, you're
pictures
right.
and things like that for our media credentials whenever
Yeah.
we go overseas. They always say don't smile, like you have to
Yep.
be so straight faced. And I never have like a totally straight face, so I always find it bizarre. And they're like, no, because when you're going through all these different international airports, they want to look at your face at rest. I'm like, my at rest face is like this. Where am I going? What's happening? So it just doesn't work for me. But so I kind of thought we were already doing that.
Yeah.
to be
Okay. So,
honest.
but the point of it
Subversion
is
of
that
that.
if this is going to be the security method that gets us through airports faster and makes everything safer for everyone in the skies, is that an alternative for social media? When you sign up for a Twitter account, when you sign up for a
need to
Facebook
use your
account,
real-
Use
I
your
need
real face.
I need your driver's license.
Yeah.
I want to see a picture of you and your name verified with every account, not just celebrities or pseudo celebrities like us, like a real person associated with every account. And if it's a brand, okay, you can have brand accounts or whatever, but you don't have the burner accounts, you don't have the fake pictures, you don't have the fake usernames. These people who are clearly just using these platforms to harass people and make their lives miserable. If you had some accountability associated with your social media accounts, I feel like people would behave a hell of a lot nicer.
They would be. Like you do get in this. What happens with that information, right? Because I've been
That's the-
banned.
that
I've
is
been
the-
banned
yes.
from Facebook twice now. Okay, so
Are you currently banned?
Yeah, I'm still banned.
Currently banned from Facebook.
So apparently they think that I have some sort of like burner hacker
Yeah.
fake account.
And you do,
I'm
but you don't want to tell
impersonating
the people
someone.
about it.
I wouldn't even know how to do it if I wanted to do it.
She's responding back.
Right.
Rachel is awesome.
I've been trolling you, Paul, for 3 weeks.
It's been her.
So, but I had to send to Facebook my passport.
Yeah.
And my, among the choices of many things you had to send in, passport, and I did my work badge.
That's wild.
I'm not loving that
Yeah.
my information is out there, but I'm required by work to be on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what choice do I have? And I still have not been undisabled, re-abled, enabled.
Reactivated? I
That.
don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yes or no, would you do it? If all of your social media sites kicked you off and they said, we need verification to let you back on. And
I
you
did
need
it.
to send,
You'd have to for work, yeah.
Yeah, I had to do it.
But I mean, personally, let's say you don't work here or
like
work in the
I don't have
spotlight.
a-
Would you do it?
No.
I probably wouldn't have social media if I wasn't
Yeah,
working here. but
exactly.
It'd be a great excuse to get off everything.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry, but I love Instagram.
So you would?
She would do it for
if Instagram is like, send us a picture of your
Instagram.
license, you would do it.
I think so at this point, yeah.
And I don't mean to use if your friend jumped off a bridge, would you do it? But under this guise, everyone is doing that. So everyone's
It
information
was just
is
part
out
of
there,
signing
not
up
just
for it,
yours.
right?
Right,
Then
yes.
I'd be like, okay. But the whole thing now, like them requesting your passport picture and everything else, like now after you've already signed up, to me, that's sketchy. Like for them to verify.
So I thought it was a phishing scam
Yeah.
the first time I found out about this
Right.
because you don't get an email from Facebook. You don't get any sort of notification from them. What happens is you try to log on and they're like, hello, your account's been disabled. So I thought I was hacked. So of
Yeah.
course I didn't do anything. And then after a while talking to other people at work, they're like, you're going to have to submit this stuff. And I did. They re-enabled me. Enabled me? Anyway, they put me back on. And then 10 days later, they took me back off.
That's
so
wild.
I don't know.
I
don't know
would
what
just
to
stay
say.
off it for now because I'm like, I'm not giving you any more information. They're like, what do you want, your credit card information?
I don't love that they have my passport. That's very concerning.
All right, let's jump off this discussion for just a second. If you have any thoughts or tips to prevent cyberbullying, leave them in the comments and we'll get back to them. In the meantime, ICYMI time. In case you missed Today in AZ this morning, this was one of our favorite moments from the show.
Well, if you're looking for a gift that's unique, how about a fire log that smells like Kentucky Fried Chicken? Yes, it's back this year. The limited edition 11 herbs and spices fire log is only available at walmart.com for $19. If you want to get one, you better act fast though, because when the logs went on sale last year, they sold out in 3 hours. I'm not really sure what that says about us as a society.
Would you?
I don't want my house to smell like fried chicken.
Well, I don't want my house to smell like food usually.
I don't.
Right. So, like, if you're baking cookies or something, that's one thing. But, like, if you've got that food stank kind of like
I just don't like that.
You cook bacon and the next morning you're like, ugh, what's that old
I never
grease
liked
smell? That's what that is, right?
I love the smell of a fresh, I don't know, regular fire log, wood burning.
What's wrong with wood?
All right, well, there's something for everyone this year.
I would not.
Definitely not.
There were too many puns there. They kind of got lost in the sauce.
No.
I don't want my house smelling like old food.
Ew.
Yeah, that's
Right?
I hate that happens. Oh, I hear your hair smell.
Everything's. I can't get the smell out of my nose, even when I leave the house. Because we love making turkey bacon on the weekends, right? And we put them on the griddle.
Right.
I smell turkey bacon all day. Doesn't everybody?
Right. We love making turkey bacon on the weekend, like all of you.
Yeah.
I smell that turkey bacon. It drives me crazy.
Yes.
It's great while it's cooking, but you don't want to smell turkey bacon at 3 p.m.
And this stays in.
Priscilla says she knows people that would love this, by the way.
Right?
She's good, though, doesn't want it. Yeah, no, that's
I think that's a great white elephant gift.
Yes, that would be a great
that
one.
would be
Get.
fun.
Yeah, you can
get it.
re-gift.
Apparently, it's sold out in 3 hours.
He remembers that re-gift.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to hand that out, and then if I get that back,
I
like, guys, I don't have a fireplace.
I don't think any of us are saying we don't like the smell of like good food, like fried
it's
chicken.
Not
But I don't want to.
fireplace,
Yeah, if you
no.
burn that log in your house, it's going to smell like that for a long time.
And you know, it's like it's an artificial food smell. That's what I
Right.
also have problems with. I don't like that.
I feel that'll attract bugs or something.
Bugs love fried chicken.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine like random dogs, stray dogs, start coming to your house because they're like, I smell chicken.
All right, let's do some fresh squeezed juice before we say goodbye, everybody.
All right, so hey, Disney fans, you won't find this streaming on Disney+.
Hold on, listen up. Listen.
The movie.
No, it's got a sound bite.
Oh.
There's a sound bite associated with it.
Wait
Hold on.
for it.
Okay.
Do you know why the phoenix sits on the right hand of the emperor?
I don't.
She is his guardian,
Mulan.
his protector. That she's both beautiful and strong. Your job is to bring honor to the family.
Dun,
So dramatic. The movie trailer dropped yesterday for the new live-action remake of Mulan. This one hits theaters in March of next year, so we always ask this one, when you see a remake that's, going to happen, are you going to see it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
At every Disney
What was it,
movie.
Dumbo?
Oh my God,
Lion King.
Cinderella.
Yeah,
King,
they've redone
Cinderella,
them all.
all of
Aladdin.
I just saw Frozen 2.
Did you like
Wait till they do a
love
live
it.
Frozen.
I love it.
Could you imagine
I love all
Elsa
of it.
singing? Let it go.
I know.
Now
There's a
it-
musical on Broadway
Yeah.
that does that.
So I was listening to Adina Menzel do an interview, and she says she's never seen it on Broadway. I was like, is that a smell? What is that? She's like, no, I've never seen it. I think
Drama.
So you're in on Mulan?
I'm totally in on Mulan.
That was intense, though, that trailer.
Yeah,
so
that
good.
one actually looks.
I don't remember Mulan being that serious.
No.
Yeah.
Remember there being talking dragons and
It's
stuff.
it's very much about woman power and
Yeah, I'm all for
Yeah.
it.
A lot of sword fighting.
All right, ladies.
Have a great weekend.
Hear that? That means it's time to go.
Happy Friday.
That's our
Weekend
school
calling.
bell. Yeah. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Let's go eat some cookies.
Yeah, cookies.